Okay, but we'll talk about targeting and retargeting in a future unit. For now, I want to just take a look at TikTok's privacy policy, just so we can actually see what, if you use the app, what you have accepted. Okay. So right at the beginning, they kind of give an overview, one paragraph for each of their sections. And one of their summaries for the information we collect about you, it says this: we collect and process information you give us when you create an account, upload content to the platform. So if you ever gave them your name or birth date or anything like that, of course you gave it to them, they collect that. But anything you upload is, of course, information that they collect as well. This includes technical and behavioral information about your use of the platform. So what accounts are you following? What videos are you watching? How long do you normally watch videos for? All of that stuff, all that behavioral stuff, they are tracking. We also collect information about you if you download the app and interact with the platform without creating an account. Next, how will they use the information about you, right? So they just talked about the collection, now it's the use. We use your information to provide the platform to you and improve and administer it. And that kind of makes sense. That's like a pro to data collection, right? They need to know some information about you and collect some of that data to give TikTok to you, but also improve and administer it. For the most part, yeah, understood, right? We use your information to, among other things, show you suggestions in the For You feed. So again, that algorithm, they see what you've already been looking at and what you might like, things that are similar. Improve and develop the platform and ensure your safety. I don't really know about those last two there. I don't know really how your data helps improve the platform and how you giving them data ensures your safety. I don't really know about that one. Where appropriate, we will also use your personal information to serve you targeted advertising and promote the platform. So again, that's that retargeting which I just talked about. You look up something on Amazon or on Google or some other website, and next thing you know, you're getting ads for it. That's what they're talking about right there. Now, who do we share your information with? We share your data with third-party service providers who help us deliver the platform, such as cloud storage providers. We also share your information with business partners, other companies in the same group as TikTok, content moderation services, measurement providers, advertisers, analytic providers. These are all of those middlemen between Amazon and TikTok that are sending you all these advertisements, right? Or whatever. It doesn't have to be Amazon, whatever you're searching, right? All of them are talking to each other. And this right here is saying we're sending them information about you so they can send us ads to put in front of you. And of course, this happens in milliseconds, right? Where and when required by law, we will share your information with law enforcement agencies or regulators and with third parties pursuant to a legally binding court order. Makes sense, but you also have to think about, where is TikTok located? Who owns that? Well, it's located in China. So what that's saying right there is whenever the Chinese government requires a company by law for TikTok to give information about their users, they will do that. So potentially the Chinese government has all of your personal information as well as TikTok, right? Fun stuff. How long do we keep a hold of your information? We retain your information, this one's good, for as long as it's necessary to provide you with the service. Which essentially means as long as TikTok is a thing, they will hold your information. Where we do not need your information in order to provide the service to you, retain it for only as long as we need, or as long as we have a legitimate business purpose in keeping such data. So again, it's pretty much forever until TikTok goes bankrupt. Or where we are subject to a legal obligation to retain the data, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So then it starts going into some of the more detailed aspects later on in the terms of service. So what is some of the information they collect about you? Well, they already said your profile information. So we have date of birth, your username, email address, telephone number if you gave them that, any other information you disclose in your profile, your photograph or profile video. user content and behavioral information, right? Remember how I said that behavioral stuff they're tracking as well, what you do on the app? So the preferences you set, the photographs, audios, and videos you upload, comments, your live streams, all that user content. There's also a spot right here. In order to improve the upload speed, they're trying to give you a little rationale there, of user content before clicking post to confirm the upload. We will provide a preload service to upload, blah, blah, blah. So essentially what they're saying is they are collecting anything you put on the app even before you press upload. So if you're just starting to, okay, you start filming some stuff on TikTok, but then you're like, you know what, never mind, and you press X, you press cancel, well, it's already too late. They have collected that. And they say that they're going to delete that from their server if you cancel or fail to upload the content. But again, if we go back to right here, we retain that information only as long as we have a legitimate business purpose, as long as it's necessary to provide you with the service. So how long are they keeping that stuff? Who's to say, right? And then you can read through a little bit more here about some of the stuff that they're tracking. Some of it can get pretty detailed. And I already kind of talked about business partners a little bit and advertisers, advertising networks. So you can see here they're figuring out what websites you visited, the apps you've downloaded on your phone, the purchases you've made, to predict what else might interest you, right? They try to frame it as like hey, we're doing you a service by sending you these ultra relevant ads for you. But I mean, there's some give and take there. There's some pros to that. You might like those targeted ads, but again, they're taking your personal information from you, right? Here goes into some of the technical information. It goes into some more of these things like cookies and so on. They have a whole section on it. A whole section on how their cookies policy looks and so on. I'll leave these for you to read if you want to. But yeah, they've got it covered, and pretty much all they're spelling out for you how they are tracking you and what data they're collecting from you. Okay, that's pretty much that TikTok privacy policy that I wanted to go through pretty briefly here. Of course, it's huge, and there's so much to dig into there. But every single app, website, subscription, whatever, has that kind of terms of service. Everything has to have, by law, privacy policy. And when you click, yes, I agree, you just agree to all those things. So again, I leave that to you. Maybe you still don't care. Maybe you're just like, okay, I understand the implications, but I still feel like, TikTok's okay. Like, I still want it. It's still fine for me. And that's totally okay, right? I think the main point here is just that and you have some control over your decisions. That being said, the last thing I want to talk about is what are some ethical privacy practices that we can do, or that marketers can do, whether you go into marketing or not, business or not. So the first thing, of course, is to comply with privacy laws and regulations. Don't try to find loopholes or get around them. Comply with current security standards. Okay, so standards are things that are kind of like best practices, but they aren't necessarily written into law yet. So you don't have a legal obligation to follow them, but it's a good idea to. It's ethical to do it. Okay, having accessible and transparent privacy policies. So something where you don't have to read through dozens of pages like in, TikTok's terms of service. Having something very accessible and transparent, easy to read. If you need a legal document, then you have a legal document that's very technical, but have something easy for the user to read in a nutshell. If you are part of a business, right, an entrepreneur or something like that, do not collect info if it's unnecessary or excessive. If you don't need to collect a person's phone number, don't ask for it. If you don't need to know a person's gender or their gender identity expression, don't ask for it, right? What's the point? Having some due diligence if you're outsourcing data collection or usage. And what that means is essentially just do your research. If you're outsourcing, meaning getting someone else, like another company, to collect data and use that data, make sure they are a reputable company and that they are an ethical company. And lastly, don't keep data for longer than necessary.